Man, I just bought 5.5 pounds of grapes, man. 5.5 pounds of seeded grapes. Because these seeded grapes, man, when they put them out, they don't be lasting all day, man. So I said, man, when I come back, if I see them, I'm getting as much as I can, man. I got so many where I'm thinking about, goddamn, catching the Uber back to the crib instead of walking the length of this train, man. 5.5 pounds of seeded grapes. And I wasn't gonna get them all. You know, I'm trying to show love. But the little dude was like, nah, I got more. He brought some more out. I said, man, I'm gonna get a few, you know. 5 pounds, man. 5.5 pounds. Man, I was just in there on the phone with one of my sisters, man. Really, she like my niece. She's like my niece, man. And she's sitting there talking about, you know, she's talking about men and relationships and ain't no good man and can't find a man. And I'm gonna tell y'all what I told her, man. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what I told her. I said, you know what? I said, for a woman to have this conversation, she's in a state of delusion. And let me say it plain. Let me make sure I'm clear what I'm saying. For a woman to say, hey, you know what? Like, for a woman to be single and looking for a relationship, you know, and stating the fact that, hey, you know what? Ain't nobody shooting a shot. Ain't no man out here. Ain't nobody trying to date. It's a state of delusion, man. Because for a woman, I don't care how cute she is. I don't care what level on the scale she is. A woman never has an issue getting men. Like, every single woman. Let's say if she's a 1. Let's say if she's not, you know, ain't nobody, you know, whether it's her weight, whether she just got certain features, and she's a 1 on society scale. She still has guys shooting their shot. It might be a crazy looking dude at the job. It might be some weird dude at the church, but it's always gonna be somebody shooting that shot, bro. It's not even a thing for a woman not to be able to get a man, especially have, you know, sex with a man. So it's when a woman says that, and that's what I told her. I said, for a woman to say that, she's in a state of delusion, meaning she just can't recognize, she's just in a delusion, or in denial rather, about what her quote unquote league is. We just like a lot of women just don't know what their league is. Like, the men that are in your DMs, the men that are shooting their shots on a regular basis, that's your class. That's your weight class. That's where you need to be. That's where you need to be fighting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women just don't understand that, because a woman can be, you know, you know, a woman can be outside of the realm of what's beautiful, whether it's features, whether it's weight, whatever. She'll still think she can get a top tier man. Well, see, us as men, we're different. Like, if you're a man, like some men literally don't have any women shooting their shot. Nobody's in the DM. And I want to talk about that, man, because I'm gonna say it like this: just like a woman, like no women, there's no such thing as a woman that doesn't have anybody trying to holler. A man should be in the same boat, but a man is playing the same game, or he's playing the game just like a woman is playing the game. You gotta understand, as men, like I'll say this, one thing is men, we don't have that delusion I was talking about. You can look in your DMs, you can look at the women trying to shoot you a shot, and you say, okay, this is my class. Like, you're not finna dismiss a whole league of 5s and 6s to go for the Beyoncés and Alicia Keys. You're just not gonna do it. You're gonna play the game, and if you wanna level up, you're gonna pause, you're gonna stay single, you're gonna hit the gym, you're gonna get your bag up, and then you're gonna get back on the field. That's how men do it. Women don't do it like that. But for the men, I'll say this, for the men that are still in a situation where they're saying, like, man, I ain't got no women checking for me, and they're desiring women, you're playing the game wrong, brothers. You're playing the game wrong. You're playing the game how women play it, as opposed to speaking to a woman's nature. You're playing the game how women play it, as opposed to speaking to a woman's nature. Oh, it's lightning, man. I gotta get to the crib. Plus, I got a call tonight. I got an exit strategist call here in about 3 hours, I believe. Gotta get ready for that. So you gotta understand, like with men, I'll say this, like with men, of course every woman wants a man that's attractive. Every woman wants a man with a certain height, tall, dark, handsome, whatever it is. Every woman wants that, right? But you can bypass that. You can bypass that by speaking to the deepest parts of her. Speaking to the deepest parts of what a woman craves. Speaking to her nature as opposed to trying to entertain and impress her mind. You can bypass that, man. You can go a completely different route, right? And when I say speaking to her nature, you have to understand that women, of course, their minds are saying, I want tall, dark, and handsome. But on the deepest of levels, on levels they can't even explain, what they really crave is God essence. What they really crave is God essence. You know, and to speak to that theory, when you see women talking to men strictly because he drives a car or his crib is a certain size or he has an X amount of followers or whatever other reason, societal reasons women speak to men or get with men, she's assuming that since he has the shiny object, the big crib, the million followers, she's assuming that he has that God essence. So she's automatically drawn to him. But what you see in society, you'll see these women get with these certain men, and in just a matter of time, man, they've lost sauce. They've lost interest. You know what I'm saying? She's really wanting that God energy or your essence. So as men, when I say you're playing the game wrong, I'm gonna say this. And when I say this, brother, when I say I stand on something, I stand on this, bro. If you are a man and you're saying, hey, so, man, I would love to have a relationship. Cause I would just love to have a pen pal. I would love to just have a woman I can, go hang out with her once in a while and have a drink or that, whatever. But ain't nobody checking for you. Like you have no motion. What I'm about to tell you will 100% change that. What I'm about to tell you will 100% change that. Not only will it 100% change it, it will 100% change it in 72 hours or less. 72 hours or less, I guarantee that will be a completely different, like you won't have that issue. And I'm not saying you're gonna be booed up in 72 hours, but what I am saying is you're gonna see a shift in your world by doing a certain thing. You're gonna see a shift in your world. I promise. I'll say this. Let me get my ticket out first on my card. Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna give y'all this game, man. I'm gonna give y'all this game, brother. Like, you will never ever again in life have an issue with women. And I ain't sitting there saying you finna go out there. I'm not saying you finna go out there and get tens. I'm not sitting there saying you finna go out there and pull out. But what I'm finna say is, I promise you, you're going to see a shift in your world when it comes to women. I guarantee you within 72 hours, I guarantee you within 72 hours, something's going to happen where you say, oh snap, the energy has changed. I promise you. Matter of fact, I'll do this. If I'm lying, if you take what I'm saying and you apply it, and I'm talking to the brothers that get no motion, and you apply it, and nothing changes, I will give you my video series, my video book, A Code to Her Chemistry, for free. If you shoot me an email at soulimmortal@immortalminds.com and say, so what you said didn't work, I saw no change, I'll give you a Code to Her Chemistry for free, right? So this is what you do. Every single guy that's having an issue where they're saying, hey, you know what, man, women just ain't checking for me, I just da-da-da. Every single one of these guys has an issue that he doesn't know about. He has an underlying issue that you might not be able to see it with the naked eye. If you don't know him, you might not know. But his issue is he's obsessed with women. He's obsessed with their beauty. He's obsessed with their sexiness. He's obsessed with the thought of having a woman that he can kiss on and lay with every day. He's obsessed with women. He's probably looking at the hub. He's probably looking at, he's probably subscribed to OnlyFans. He's probably on Instagram all day looking at, all the free, bodies he can look at. You know what I'm saying? Like he's obsessed with women. And you have to understand, when you're in that energy of being obsessed, brother, I don't care if you're 6'12", making $1 million a minute. There's going to be something about you that's deterring women. And a lot of times they won't even be able to speak to it. Like, believe it or not, there are some guys that are 6 foot whatever, X amount of money, they can meet a woman, and for some reason that woman is turned off. Like, she might kick it with him for a time or two, just because he fits these physical attributes, but in 5 minutes she gonna say, yeah, it's something about this guy, like, I ain't feeling him. It's because he has that energy. You gotta understand this. This is what I'm really getting down to the root. When you have that energy where you're obsessed with women, you're depleted. You're depleted of that God energy I'm talking about. You're depleted of that God energy I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is this, it's not something you have to announce. It's not something you have to make known. It's not something you got to go post on Instagram that, hey, you know what? I've changed, guys. I'm no longer focused on. It's an energy that women that you don't even talk to can feel. Let's say, for example, you shot your shot at a woman 6 months ago. You follow her on Instagram, you shot your shot, she was like, oh, yeah, I got a boyfriend. And you look on the gram and you can tell she ain't got no man. You don't even have to inbox her saying, hey, you know what? I've changed my mindset. When you change your mindset, I'm gonna tell you this. Any woman you've had an emotional connection with, meaning a woman you've had conversation like you're trying to shoot your shot, any woman that you've dated, I don't care if you ain't talked to her in years, any woman you've had an emotional connection with can feel it when you make that shift. I promise you, all your exes, when you lock in, they can feel it. All the women that you in the inbox in, you've been trying to, they put you in the friend zone, when you lock in, they can feel it. And I guarantee you, if the odds are the women you try to shoot your shot at within 72 hours, one of those women are going to do something to let you know something has changed. Whether they just jump in the inbox or whether they like one of your pictures and they've never liked one in the last 5 years y'all been following each other, one of them are gonna shoot their shot. But I'm gonna tell you this is how you're gonna know something's changed. You're gonna be out and about, and you're just going to notice women responding to you different. Right? You're gonna like, even the cashier, even just random women when you're grocery shopping, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what? I like that shirt on you. And you've never had that happen before. It's gonna be an energetic shift, and you're gonna say, you know what? Something's changed, right? So to get that change, I'm gonna tell you what to do, brothers. When I say focus on your goals, because like the only way you can produce God energy is by pursuing God. That's the only way you can pursue God energy, is by pursuing God. And the only way you can pursue God is by pursuing your passion, by pursuing that thing you love, by pursuing that thing you want to give back to the world. And I'm gonna tell you this, man, the moment you start pursuing that, everything changes. And this is what I mean. Let me be clear what I mean. You have to completely change your energetic field, which means the first thing you have to do is get off the hub and all that stuff. Stop getting on the World Wide Web. Stop getting on Facebook and Instagram, looking at all these baddies' bodies all day, lusting over them. To the point where, this is what I'm saying before I get on this train. To the point where when you see women in public, like when you walk, you walk by, man, you checking, you looking at legs, you looking at ass, you looking at all that stuff, to the point where when you see women in public, you don't even look at them. You're just like they're not even there. Hold up, let me get on this train. I'm gonna finish this here in a minute. All right, like I was saying, to the point where even when you're in public, like even if you want to, like, when you see a woman, when you walking in the mall or you walking in the store, when you coming towards a woman, she already knows you checking her out. She's 100% aware that the majority of men are checking her out. It needs to be to the point where when a woman looks at you to check, to see, to verify that you're looking at her, you need to be locked in, looking straight. You need to act like she's not even on the planet. Like, change your energetic field towards, like, you know what? I'm so focused. I don't want none of these women. You know what I'm saying? Well, you just locked in. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, when I say your energetic field changes, again, you could be a brother that's 5'2". You could be a brother that has a few pounds on him. You know, a brother that most women just ain't, you know, whatever checking for. You know, it's gonna change all that. Like, think about the men you see. Think about the men you see out and about sometimes, right? Think about the men you see out and about sometimes, and you be like, how he pull her? You know what I'm saying? You be like, okay, you know, I ain't saying he a throw it off dude, but how he pull her? It's because he's, hold up, let me get my card, man. It's because he's focused. It's because he's focused on something. It's because he's focused on something, and that God essence is oozing out of him. Even when we talk about the Pookies and the Ray Rays, like when we were young, and you know, we were in our 20s or whatever, and a lot of women were checking for guys, a certain caliber of guys, whether we were those guys they were checking for and we didn't, whatever. And you say, hey man, you know what? I'm going to school, I'm doing this, everything is right, I got a car, I got a good 9 to 5 job, I'm a classy guy, I took my shirt, you know, whatever. And you say, why is she going for the guy that's on the other end of the spectrum? Like, he ain't got nothing going for himself. Like, in 10 years, he ain't gonna have nothing. She's going for that guy because she's aware. Most of the time, they are aware that these men ain't got nothing going on. But that man might be locked into something. Whether it's a trap spot, whether it's about him getting money. He has him getting that bag over everything. It's over everything. He's plugged into a mission. He's plugged into a purpose. And the fact that he's plugged into a purpose in his mission, like his essence, his aura is being combined with God's essence. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the theory, if that's the law, then that's the law. It don't matter if you selling dope or if you whatever, if you're not locked into some kind of mission, women aren't going to check for you, man. They just aren't. They just aren't going to do it. And I'm gonna tell you, and I get reminded of this occasionally because and I'm not going to tell the story again. I found this out by mistake years ago, several years ago, when I've been married for several years and came out of that situation, and I didn't have no game. And man, I couldn't get a -1. And I was a handsome cat, bro. Handsome cat, clean whips, good job, own my own home. Like, I was cream of the crop in my mind. Brother, would nobody check for me. I mean, it got to the point, man, where I would see and I hate using numbers and stuff, but I would see a 2 and shoot my shot at a 2, and she would just be like, you know, I don't know, I'll give you my number. And I'll be like, what in the, like, what? I said, is my game that bad? My game wasn't bad. My game wasn't bad at all, brothers. What was bad was my craving for female attention. I wanted a woman in my life so bad, man, that it was just repelling every single woman in existence. And I'm gonna tell you, 3 weeks later, man, all these women that were giving me the Heisman wouldn't give me the time of day. Even, matter of fact, even the woman that I had a crush on my whole life back then jumped in the DM. And matter of fact, me and her connected and had a long relationship. But that was 3 weeks after I was getting the Heisman from every woman. And the only thing that changed was I took all my energy, kind of like I was talking about on my last video, bandwidth. I took all my bandwidth and put it towards starting a new business. And I didn't even reach back out to these women, man. Like I say, once you make that emotional connection, you're connected. You're connected. I didn't even reach out to these women, man. They just started reaching out to me like one by one. You know what I'm saying? Almost like I was being punked. One by one, man. Every couple of days, a new one jump in the DM. Hey, you know what? I heard da-da-da. And I was like, what is going on? And I said, the only thing I changed was XYZ. So fast forward, what I'm saying is, when I say I get reminded of this, like a lot of times, man, whether it's me getting out of a relationship or maybe it's just me, like say if I go through a spell or a season Well, I'm dating. I'm going on a few dates with somebody, to kind of learn different people. And then if I say, hey, you know what? I'm finna lock in. I'm finna prepare to start this business, or I'm finna prepare to move to this place. I'm finna just lock in and zone in. As soon as I zone in, it's like it gets to the point where women start getting on my nerves because they start. It's like, man, I ain't talked to you in 6 months. I ain't talked to you in a year. Like, why are you calling? And then I get reminded because it comes in waves. I was like, man, why are these women calling and getting on my nerves? And like y'all are getting on my nerves. And I remember, I said, you know what? It's because I'm locking in. And my God essence is like they can feel it. I said, my God essence can be felt. Even if it's a woman I haven't talked to in years, they feel it. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing is going on with you, man. Same thing is going on with you, man. So, yeah, if y'all brothers have any issues with women, just specifically tune them out. 100% tune them out. And focus on a goal. Focus on the gym. Focus on the new job. Focus on your own business. And I promise you, within 72 hours, what's up, brother? My brothers, man.
How much? เท่าไหร่น่ะ 20,000 10,000
I don't know how many baht. $5,000 though. Hey, where's the cat? Where's the cat, man? Where's the kitty? Where's the little cat? Meow meow.
แมว
Yeah, where's the cat? The cat.
ไหนเรานี่แมวเนี่ยเพื่อนนี่ได้กินแมวเนี่ย
It's yours. Yeah.
เพื่อนนี่ได้กินแมว
Yeah, man, they have this cat, man. He got a and these are, let me show you the camera. These are the Grape brothers. All these brothers drive Grape, man.
เพื่อนนี่นะโตกินแมวเนี่ย
Yeah, and they have this
ได้ยิ่งยังเดียว
they have this cat, man, to be out here hanging out, and he got one of them. Hey, y'all take care, brother. They be out here hanging with this cat, and this little kitten has a Grape uniform on, man. It's like a custom-made 5-inch Grape uniform, man, that they put on him, and he be out there hanging out. How you doing? And chilling like he part of the.
โอ้ยเตยเว้ยเดี๋ยวไงลูก
Them brothers, them Grape brothers, they go hard, man. They work non-stop, man. And them brothers always speak when I walk by. But yeah, what I was saying is, I'm gonna let y'all go, man. Yeah, you gotta understand. If you're a brother and it's like, man, I can't find women, man, just lock in. And I guarantee you, in 72 hours, you're gonna feel your energetic field shift. I promise you, it's gonna shift. And I'm not saying your DM's finna be flooded. I'm not saying that, but I am saying within that 72 hours, I don't care if you lose 1 pound. I don't care if you gain $1 more per hour. They gonna start checking for you. Women gonna be like, I like them shoes. I like that necklace. And you gonna be like, oh snap. No one has ever complimented me like that. You're gonna say no one has ever done that. And you're gonna say, you know what? Soul was right. Soul was right. Now the thing is this. At that point, don't go back into the cesspool of lusting for women, because sometimes that energy alone can pull you back in. Understand that place you're in, that's where you live now. That's where you live now. You live where you're focused on your goal. You live in a spot where you're focused on something. You know what I'm saying? You live in that place of, like I'm always talking about, balance. You live in that place of balance where you're always moving forward, and at the same time, man, you're never lacking female attention. Never. Even when you're down, even when you take a mini L, even when your money looking funny sometimes, or even when your health is going through something, you'll never be in a deficit in that area, bro. Never. And then I'll say this to conclude, and I don't want to go too deep into it, because to be honest, it's a whole nother video. Even when you do get in a situation, even when you do get in somewhat of a relationship or a real relationship or whatever, This is what you got to remember, and I'm not going to go into it, but you got to remember to, even when you get in a relationship, to still never come out of that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, what time is it? I got to call her in a little bit. 6, almost 7:30. I got to call her in a little bit. You got to understand that even when you get booed up, even when you get married, you still never come out of that energy. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, your woman is going to be consistently trying to pull you out of it. It's how she's supposed, like, that's part of her nature. But she never wants you to come out of it. And when I say pull you out of it, I mean pull you out of that space where mission isn't priority. Never come out of that space, bro. Because as soon as you come out of that space, you've lost her. She may love you. She might have thought you hung the moon. As soon as you come out of that space of mission is first. Like, I don't care if it means we can't be together, then mission is first. As soon as you come out of that, it's over. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? And you see it all the time. You see it all the time where you like, hey, doing, sir? You see it all the time. I'll say this, either you see it all the time or you probably experienced it yourself. I know I have. I know I've been in a relationship, maybe two, where a woman treated me like royalty forever. But as soon as I started like loving her too much and maybe allow my hierarchy to get kind of foggy, that same woman that loved me was in the wind. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be mad. I mean, it might have played out in some crappy ways, but at the same time, I can't be mad at nobody but soul. Huh? I done bought 5 pounds of grapes, bro. Let me try to see, man. Seeded grapes. Seeded grapes. 2 big bags. 5.5 pounds of seeded grapes. Y'all dig what I'm saying, though, man? And I don't even know what I'm gonna title this because I can't remember what I was talking about at first. But yeah.